What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 36 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, a massive defense at Fort Stroghoff saw us see off the forces of Norska, and now they do still have a few armies remaining, but it's getting a lot better. With Throg fallen and their armies pretty badly beat up, there will be a lot less babysitting for Vlad to do in the future. Or at least that's the dream. Otherwise, we've also taken Karazakarak with Bathilda, and we'll be able to destroy the Karazakarak dwarfs for good in, let's say, 3 turns. I doubt that we could reach Karak Drawn in a single round. We'll see shortly. And obviously this is garbage, so auto-resolve that. Really? Really? That 40 each of the Graveguard with great weapons died to a bunch of miners? Okay, fine. Oh, auto-resolve. You're always doing things. Okay, so we've taken Iron Rock, and it'll take 2 turns to get here. Which is unfortunate, but what can you do? On the bright side, this faction will be gone for good. Of course, we also need to take Beric Var, but Bathilda should be able to take care of that shortly as well. Oh, it might take her 3 turns. Hard to say. But it's not like they'll be able to hold it. Also, Karazakarak, while we're here, let's get some more mines up and running. That gem mine will also reduce the upkeep of corpse carts, black coaches, and mortis engines, which sounds like it's very appropriate then for Bathilda to have been the one to take the place. Let's also upgrade that ghost fence, and we may as well start upgrading this territory immediately, as there may be rats or otherwise orcs that come here. I do have to wonder whether Warg can jump over this to Mount Squighorn. I don't know if it can go that far, but it's very possible. Also, Assassin, while you're here. Can you assassinate anything in here? Yes, you can. Try it. A success, very good. Very good, Assassin. You do good work. Alrighty, now everybody back here. Let's start moving you out. Vlad, you are going to take the Hell Pit, as, well, let's face it, Rod's army isn't yet built to be able to take massive fortresses like that. This will mean attrition, won't it? We could avoid the attrition by going near to here through Erengrad, but does that actually save us any time? It really depends on if we need to send Vlad anywhere else. You know, healing would be nice. Let's go here. Might cost us another few... Yeah, but you know what? Getting to full health is going to be worthwhile. I'll take it. Renki, do you want to raise anything, or are you okay? You know what? I think you're okay, but let's give you the skill points, and just in case the enemies may attack you again. Upkeep for Crypt Ghouls. Ironically, you don't have any Crypt Ghouls in your army right now. Let's get that Spirit Leech and the Curse of Undeath. And Door of Supremacy is a good choice, pretty much always. Now, we could get the Unliving Host. The thing is, we don't know whether this army will, well, A, whether it'll stick around at all, because we may get another Strigoi later, and B, whether it'll have any kind of infantry at all. What if it just has Crypt Horrors as well as other stuff? Because if we do have it, it shouldn't be identical to Roderick's army, that's the thing. Which makes me kind of hesitate as to getting the Unliving Host, even though it's probably the best 3 value points that we can get, but it's the first point in the red lines. That's pretty much always the case. You know what, let's get Command of the Unliving for now, and we could get Evasion to power you up slightly, or get another point in Spirit Leech, as it is quite spammable. Oh, all this does is reduce the cooldown, eh? Just out of curiosity, how much mana do you have? 50, yeah, you know what? It's not worth the point right now. Restless Dead. Will we need to move after this turn? Maybe, but if we need to fight, I think we'd rather get Evasion. Nah, let's do something like that. And then we'll see if these guys try to attack you again. They do have the Cold Voider here, as well as a bunch of Feral Mammoths and this army, potentially. What do we have in terms of the garrison? Well, not that much. That said, we do have 2 Blood Knights here, so I'm sure it'll be fine, if they do attack at all. Waller, you are good. Let's move everybody else out. Rudolph, you need to attack Rafrafa finally. Been staring at it for a while. And a few garbage units got hurt, that's fine. Occupy the place. And a Trickster Shard, okay. Kinda useless, but maybe we can turn it into something useful. Do we have another Trickster Shard to delete? We do not right now. How many Featherfoot Torques are we gonna get? They aren't horrible when you're actually fighting a lot of air units, though. Oh, and I forgot to put the Warrior Bane on somebody. I'm just seeing if there's anything that we could delete here. The Scroll of Power that's currently on Peter and the Scroll of Shielding, you know what? Maybe turn those into something. And a Potion of Healing, very, very nice. That's our second or our third one. We could give it to Vlad. Bathilda has one and Rudy has one. It's probably overkill on Vlad, and it's probably overkill on Roderick, to be perfectly honest. They both heal massive amounts, and Rod isn't at Immortal Horror yet, so he probably can't benefit from it at all. Because Ghoul King of Ashoran will just out-heal it anyway. You know what, we'll see who ends up needing it in a little bit. Let's get some levels up and running first. We'll do more items later, but let's not waste the time on it right now. Trisha, move out, and that actually reminds me. I don't know why that reminded me specifically. But Cathay. We still have the chance to get another Cathayan ally. The Imperial Wardens. We're at -4. How much money do you want for this? 7,000 gold. Ooh. A little bit on the steep side, but our reputation is decreasing slightly, probably because of the strategic threat. And as we continue taking territory, strategic threat will only increase. And they're not at war with anybody, and this is the Imperial Wardens. It's unlikely they will ever be at war with anybody. But more Cathayan allies means more recruited stuff. And once they max out all these gates, they will be pretty militarily heavy. Yeah, you know what? Fine, let's just do this.
Harmony is
there we go. Now we have all the Cathayans that are alive, I believe, allied to us. Hopefully they don't all confederate into one faction. It would actually be kind of annoying. As this way, at least we can spread out the units we get from each of them. Anyway, Wilhelm, let's move you. I don't believe anybody else needs to move at this point. You're going to join Rudy as soon as you can. Tech Thieves, let's move you out. Steal some tech, would you? Alright, nice job. You actually need your levels, unlike several of the other units. And let's go Steel Tech and Specialist. Easy enough. I know it's a little bit annoying that we have so much agent spam, but, well, we will soon be done with all of our research, or at least relatively soon. I think we have like 20 turns of research left at 2 points per research. Maybe 30 turns if some of them go to 3 points. Or 3 turns, rather. It'll happen eventually. Everybody else keeps stealing tech. How many turns do you have left? 4. Oh, you're actually more or less good. I think one of them should have like 6 or something. Not you. You actually have 4. Okay, one more time for... You know what? Just do it. And then we won't have to worry about you for a few turns as yet. Plus, with the fact that one of them is dead, we want this to actually take 2 turns, so we can't have this dissipate. And the next one to take 2 turns as well. You have 7. Okay, yeah, we can ignore you. Alrighty, and that's all the agents, that's all the units. Let's spend our cash. Not that we have much, but I do know that we will probably want to get the walls up and running in the Tower of Crack. As well as a Balefire Brazier, probably growth and stuff. Is there something that we need more? Oh, there's also walls at Grenstad. You know what? Let's prioritize the walls at Grenstad. This place keeps getting attacked, damn it. And we also can get a gibbet here. And Screeching Kilns, sure. I never noticed the name of that thing, Screeching Kilns. I like that. And I guess we'll wait on this. We can't afford the Charnel Pit, and while the Gibbet is better, since we won't be owning the Sarl. Oh, actually, no, we'll be building the Awakened Battlefield here anyway, for the attrition increase to anybody that moves from here to here. Also gotta pay attention to what the Sarl do, as they will probably try to take Castle Alexandrinov. We'll see. And I doubt our allies are gonna do too much to defend it. Anyway, let's end the turn like this. Unassigned skill points, yada yada yada. Let's see what the enemy does. Mostly I'm curious to see whether the Norskins back off or whether they try to attack us again at Fort Stroghoff. And we get an encore battle. Alright, looks like the rats have moved and nowhere important at that. Barrow Legion caravan, yada yada yada. Fecundite's nowhere near us, so not a concern. And where's that Throggy? Fanchantress, what you want? You want military access. The Fanchantress is such a weird, it's such a weird faction, or Carcassonne rather, such a weird faction in the sense that they and Talzin love each other, but Durthu hates them. Or at least to some degree, because Durthu is angry at the fact that we deal with them, which is kind of dumb, considering they're actually relatively okay and they're allied with the others. You know what, let's keep friendly with the Fanchantress for now. I doubt we'll be moving here anytime soon. There's plenty more territory southward for us to take, especially the Black Pyramid and stuff. So military access, sure, for now. It'll keep that trade agreement up and running, and it looks like we will indeed be getting an encore battle. Huh. You know what? This gives us reason to try the other method, doesn't it? As in, I wanted to try moving up around the Pyrrhic Victory. I wanted to try moving up around the main location rather than at different choke points. Last time, we could do it right now. Oh, look, the Beasts of Tashnar are back. The Cold Voider is going to be a concern, especially as we have no range to bring it down, so we'll have to wait for it to drop. I mean, I suppose we could send the Vargeists at it, but it'll kill them without too much trouble, as they're still hurt. Alrighty, well, we'll do this cinematically yet again. Unfortunately, we are in March stance, so we do have to be careful about that as well. Alrighty, here we go again. I guess careful what you wish for, because I did want to get another battle here just to test out how effective it would be to hold this hill at the center rather than to hold outside as we did last episode. Now, whether this is more effective than the other way, I think that the ultimate answer is actually it can be, but it can not be. It depends on the army composition that you have and the army composition that they have. We have to remember that the last episode, about the midway point of the battle, we had 3 towers going simultaneously, all of which were at 1400 points, and all of which were providing splash damage support to our army, whereas here, holding this will only allow us to build a single tower. It'll be a 2000 pointer, of course, to maximize its effectiveness, but it'll be a considerable reduction in splash damage coming down onto the enemy. Plus, if we end up holding 2 choke points rather than the 1, that is still quite a bit of investment. Though I suppose here we were technically holding 4, it could have been sort of whittled down to 2 if we chose to back off, or if we chose to fight in a more wide area, though that would then not be holding the choke so much. Anyway, while talking, we're waiting for the enemy to come in, and it looks like the Cold Voider, the Regiment of Renown Frostworm, is about to crest this little building. Hey there, buddy. And the AI does like to send these things in first, so it looks like that's what it'll be doing. We're going to avoid sending our aerial units to, fight it, because that'll be a bad idea. It's going to get its breath off, unfortunately for us, though fortunately into zombies and skeletons, and not any of our Graveguard or our elites that are waiting all the way back here. As usual, the name of the game is to slow the enemy down, tire them out, and then come in with our elites, our Graveguard, and our Blood Knights to kill them off afterwards. Now, here comes the Cold Voider. Looks like he wants to fight the Black Coach. Well, that's great for him, or them, depending on how you count dual-headed monstrosities. But there we go. It's going to get distracted fighting the Black Coach, and then completely surrounded by Blood Knights as well as our Lord, and they should be able to bring it down. These things are surprisingly fragile after all. Like the little interplay of light and shadows that we got going here, and we're going to get a Spirit Leech going down as well. We do have limited amounts of these, of course, but it does feel like we should try to kill this guy best we can. In fact, it looks like he's already broken, and we're going to try to give chase to him, but he has so much mass that it might be difficult to hold. I think perhaps what I should have done is moved another unit right here, in preparation for it trying to run away so that it couldn't break through, or maybe something bigger like a corpse cart or something, though I think it might have been able to nudge that aside. Hard to say. Anyway, that's a very big elite off the field, or at the very least broken for now. We're also getting our tower up and are going to switch targets to this feral mammoth shortly. I also want to point out that enemies are moving in over this side as well, including starting with the Beasts of Tashnar, and we will probably have to send at least some units over here to fight off the Skinwolves and other elite units that come in. There we go. Now it's time to switch to the Mammoth. And another Spirit Leech going down on the Cold Voider, but hopefully that will at least shatter it. Still broken, although very badly beat up, and there we go. Now it's shattered. That works. 468 HP. Would have been nice to kill it outright so we didn't have to deal with it afterwards, but it still works. Alrighty, Blood Knights as well as our Lord in the Black Coach once again going after those elites. If we can bring down a Mammoth as well, that'll make the battle easier, though we are facing off against quite a few of these guys, so plenty more of these to be killing later on. And down it goes, and it sends a few of our skeletons flying, but that's okay, certainly worth it. Now, the main army is on the field, and it's got lots of skin wolves and lots of mammoths. In this one, 4 through our relatively fragile infantry line is definitely going to be a danger. Otherwise, over on this side, we do have another mammoth coming in, but our Blood Knights, our second unit of Blood Knights, which we now have, is going to move into counter, while the rest of the units try to hold back the skin wolves, hopefully long enough for us to deal with the mammoth. Though, of course, the skin wolves and the beasts of Tashnar should be able to rip our regular skeleton warriors apart without too much trouble. We do still have our unit of Graveguard, which for some reason decided to turn here. I think a couple of the models might have gotten engaged by the mammoth, which forced them to turn. Yeah, that's what's happening, which is actually a little bit irritating because it's allowing the skin wolves to hit them in the back, but, well, what can you do? On the bright side, the Blood Knights have nearly killed the mammoth here, who is now broken and running. I don't know whether we can actually give chase to it, because our own units will block us, and so will the skin wolves. And man, all the shine on the mammoth's fur makes it look really odd, like it's oh, but our Lord has arrived and is getting the Spirit Leech on the mammoth, so maybe that'll be enough to bring it down. We shall see shortly. I'm gonna also pop up a unit of summoned Crypt Cores. Down goes the mammoth yet again. A summoned unit of Crypt Cores right in the middle of the enemy units here to block the Beast of Tashnar as well as this unit of Marauder Horsemen while our flyers move in. At the end of the day, I decided that it might be better off to commit more forces here, including our Lord, to try to kill off everything here and then move back to defend the main location, hopefully before the main enemy force arrives with all those mammoths, as we probably can't be fighting mammoths in 2 locations at the same time, nor a giant pile of skin wolves. As we can also see, our tower is also up and running now, though that first shot looks like it hit nothing. And our Vargeists are dropping in and working on those horses, together with a little help from the bats. And the summoned Crypt Cores, of course. Alrighty. Looks pretty good. Those skin wolves should get surrounded and destroyed fairly quickly, as that is quite a bit of monstrous infantry, plus our Lord and Blood Knights working on all this. And the faster we're done with these guys, the faster we can return to the main location. Alrighty, unfortunately it looks like our Crypt Cores are almost gone. Just gonna send them out to fight some Marauder Spears, mostly so that they don't charge our Vargeists in the back here. I don't want to be losing them again. Alrighty, and now it looks like the skin wolves on this side are pretty much done. A few might come back, though we are going to try to give chase, and I suppose it'll also depend on what we see coming in from the second army. 1, 2, 3, 4 skin wolves, and I think possibly more somewhere, in addition to all those mammoths. Well, over on this side, however, we do have our skeletons and zombies fighting piles upon piles of marauders. I also want to point out that our corpse cart, which has been trying to attack the enemy, was doing good, but look at that focus fire by the enemy Marauder Horsemasters. And we do have to watch out for additional Marauder Hunters with javelins and other ranged units as well. So, gotta be careful. The Black Coach, look at that, dropping very close to dying now. Of course, we should be able to heal it with an invocation of Nehek, and there it is. But let's back it off so that it doesn't crumble and come apart. We don't actually... Oh, wow. All those extra javelins coming into the Graveguard, though the Graveguard can take that just fine. And now we found an enemy Lord to Spirit Leash. Of course, this is the level 1 Lord of the first army, not the level, I want to say, 14 Lord of the second army, who is a much bigger concern. And let's watch this little fight for a while, since we've more or less won at the other side of the battle. This is where most of the action will be. Looks like the enemy's going to charge in with its Marauder Horsemen, although this is probably not the best place to be, especially now that our Graveguard with great weapons are in here, though their armor piercing is of course wasted on the relatively weak Marauder Horsemen. Also going to try to keep our Corpse Cart out of the fighting, but our Lord can be fighting instead. Mostly so that the Corpse Guard doesn't die, or hopefully it doesn't get focused down by Marauders with javelins or any kind of range weapon, really. Throwing axes would hurt as well. Alrighty, let's see how we're doing back here. The enemy Lord is about half HP, though another Lord has arrived and he's level 12. And then first Mammoth has moved in and the others are about to follow suit. So the Skin Wolves that came in with the second army have actually come in to reinforce over this side, which is kind of interesting. It looks like they've sent pretty much all their Skin Wolves from both armies to try to flank around and hit this area. A little bit annoying, as we do have to maintain our Mourngulls as well as our Vargeists here, as well as a second unit of Blood Knights, mostly to keep the Skin Wolves back, as they would otherwise rip apart our basic infantry. We also do have to keep our one of our Corpse Carts here, so we only have one on this side, which if it dies would obviously be not so great. Alrighty, and there's another Spirit Leech. Gotta keep those Spirit Leeches coming. Best way to damage those Lords right now, since we can't really break through the press here. And here come the Mammoths now. Alright, our infantry is going to be taking massive amounts of damage soon. Ideally, the Mammoths will hopefully move through the infantry a little bit further, and then we'll be able to surround them with our elites, who are still waiting. Graveguard, the Black Coach, and the Blood Knights waiting, while the Graveguard with great weapons are waiting. We're just going to move our regular Graveguard up, as the enemy is starting to break through, and we need to shore up our the weaker points in our line. Also got to remember that the tower is providing support, so any extra time that we buy it, there will be more splash damage into the enemy ranks. And it's not too bad at killing Mammoths either. Alrighty, it looks like this one has finally moved out of the press, which means our Lord can focus it down together with the Graveguard with great weapons, and our Blood Knights should be here shortly to help out as well. Though it looks like the Mammoths are starting to do massive amounts of damage to the infantry. We really got to start making these guys go away. I was moving the skeletons in, but then decided that they need to make way for our Blood Knights and the Black Coach as well. Not super useful against the Mammoth, mind you, but, well, it should still hit fairly hard. And the faster we drop these things, the better it'll be. And ooh, charging out of there into some of our poor skeletons, but fortunately, looks like this Mammoth, I believe the third one that we're going to be bringing down this particular episode. Or battle, rather. And drop, please. Any second now, another Spirit Leech going down on another Mammoth. Still, it looks like several to go. Down you go. And how's our fight with the Skin Wolves? Still proceeding, though. It looks like they have a Werekin leading them, which, you know, is appropriate considering it was just a pile of Skin Wolves attacking on this side. But that Werekin has actually been holding on for quite a while, and the Blood Knights are having a little bit of a tough time dealing with them, probably because of their relative lack of armor. Oh, that's the Graveguard. Their relative lack of armor-piercing damage. It's okay at 19, but it's not nearly as much as we might like for an armored target. So we'll have to take a while to keep getting through that. Still, both the enemy Lords are alive and 2 Mammoths still to go, though we are now starting to drop the enemy here. They're also starting to drop our infantry as the numbers are starting to dwindle, especially over on this side where the Mammoths have made it through. Though we do have, I believe, at least one more unit of skeletons that we just moved in. I can't quite tell where it is anymore. Now, hopefully it's not super important. I also did consider moving the Blood Knights in to surround the enemy a little bit more, but I wasn't sure whether that was actually a good idea or not, as it would allow more splash damage to be coming into the Mammoths or from the Mammoths onto the Blood Knights. And as long as the Blood Knights live, as long as the elites live, we'll be fine. At the end of the day, skeleton losses don't matter that much. Oh, there we go. Mammoth moving a little bit further into the formation of Blood Knights, and that's not looking so good for it, because it should be dead fairly shortly. And yet another Spirit Leech coming down. I do believe both of the enemy lords are, what, about 33% HP, and looks like a lot of the enemies are now starting to waver. Our tower getting some okay shots in. Not quite center mass here, but that's still splash damage to quite a few enemy units. And we can bring down these two mammoths, we'll be a lot safer, as what the enemy has left, okay, down goes one of the said mammoths. What the enemy has left will not be enough to break through 2 units of Blood Knights. And that includes the Lords and the Marauder Champions and the remnants of the Skinwolves, and down goes the last of the Mammoths. Yeah, this battle actually turned out to be surprisingly different compared to the last battle. I do wish that there was another tower that was bound to this particular location, but that's okay. And it looks like we finally defeated the Skinwolves on this side, and the Skinwolf Werekin has broken as well. We never got to apply our second unit of Blood Knights over on that side, but it looks like we're not going to need them because the enemy realized their folly, or their doom, approaching as soon as they saw that the last of their 6 mammoths had perished. And there we go. Well done to everybody. Tower gonna get a few more parting shots, and Blood Knight's gonna give chase, and same with the Chariot and our Strigoi as well. Yeah, you kill them single, Cairn Wraith. Alrighty, well, I suppose we don't really need to watch everybody get chased down, even though it is fun sometimes, but let's face it, we've seen a lot of it, though to be fair, not a crazy amount of the Blood Knights doing it specifically. I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty more of that once our Blood Dragon army is fully up and running. And I do have to agree with one of the comments in the previous episodes. It would be nice if they added the Foot Knights, the foot version of the Blood Knights, just like SFO had in the past. But anyway, speed it up once more. Chase everything down as we, well, I did very much enjoy this encore battle, but I'd prefer not to have a third battle here, as we do have to advance. Make a little bit of headway, so we're not stuck in a stalemate up north here. That would be a little bit unfortunate. Though we do still have to develop a few provinces. I'd rather not overexpand to the point that we can't fortify our newer territories, of course. But we do have to take a few choke points, and that'll include Prague and possibly the lair of the Troll King, although I'm a little bit disinclined to hold territories that can't be walled up. Might be trying to give them to our vassals just to have them hold them, especially the frozen territories that are yellow for the vampire counts in particular. Anyway, the chasing should be just about done. I think this is the last unit, or one of the last units on the field. And it looks like it's a Pyrrhic victory, but that's okay, as long as there are no other enemies nearby and those armies are badly damaged, this doesn't matter, and obviously the skeleton losses don't matter either. Alright, there we are again. We knew we could win the encore battle because, well, we already won the battle. Granted, this was a lot more mammoths than last time, but they just can't stand up to concentrated attacks from Blood Knights as well as a Strigoi. I also want to point out that he got 17,000 damage, considering he's a Foot Lord with only Spirit Leech and no actual damaging spells. That's pretty damn impressive. Well done, little buddy. The Black Coach didn't perform as well this time around as it did last battle, mostly because, well, it's not going to be as effective against mammoths, and it just kept getting focused down by ranged units, such that we had to keep it away. Also, we did lose a couple of Graveguard, but the dead rise and rise again, and that worked in our favor this time yet again. Alrighty, we're gonna heal everybody up just in case we get attacked for a third time, although I think these guys should no longer be viable at this point. We'll see shortly, but I sincerely doubt it. Alrighty, Scheme of Doom. Oh, I hate that. Great Incantation of Xar, enemy killed in battle. There should be a lot of those. Construction for Vlad. Okay. Actually does make sense. Vlad is more of a creator, isn't he? Let's see. Disciplined for Ziggy here. And you have your regular corpse guard. Who's... Oh, you're this guy's. Okay, fine, fine, fine. And what the heck is this? Oh, it's like a little wood elf Wrath of Nature army. Huh. As in without the elves. I wonder, would you be able to fight the top knots for us? No. I generally am very wary and dislike, let's say, rogue armies, because they just do crazy things and will probably attack us, but, well, let's hope that that one doesn't. Let's see. You're moving to Beric Var, Bathilda. And Pete, old Pete. The question for you is...
Not enough warps.
Oh wow, look at this. Talks. And see, this is a lovely little army, isn't it? A bunch of Skaven slaves with a bunch of rattling guns and Death Globe mortars. This feels like an appropriate army for the Skaven. A few more clan rats in here perhaps, but yeah. Keep a bunch of cheap units and then the elites to do damage both to the enemy and the Skaven slaves as well. Seems quite appropriate. Now, you, Peter, we need to destroy those Karazakarak dwarfs, and we will retake Iron Rock, it's fine. The reason I'm so gung-ho about destroying the dwarves is that because the Imric's faction doesn't like the fact that we keep attacking them. So the best way to keep friendly with him is to destroy the dwarves for good and then not have to deal with them anymore. Is that Ronan, eh? You're a pestilence scheme, not a doom scheme. But we will have to keep our assassin nearby in case you try to move towards us. Still a concern, obviously. Okie dokie, Vlad. Are you able to reach anybody? No, but you could go to Hell Pit, and indeed in Druzhina Enclave we have enough vampiric corruption that it shouldn't be too problematic. Alrighty. And aha! What do we have here if it isn't Garithor Ovesen? See, now he wants to take Castle Alexandrinov. We could raise a bunch of, like, Garbo armies. We also probably want to destroy the rest of this nonsense. Who goes where? That's the question. And oh look, Kappelberg has indeed fallen and your army now looks too weak to challenge ours. Throt still sieging Prague. You know, we may want to try to get Aldous the Throt the Unclean buff. While he's here, it's certainly a decent option. Also, can you raise a Crypt Horror yet? No, still no. Damn it. Wait. Can we raise one here? We can raise more Graveguard, which is great for Aldous. And yes, you can raise a Crypt Horror. Okay, that's perfect, because you can transfer it. Can you raise any more Blood Knights while you're at it? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, well, you can raise that. And then, well, you can't reach this, and we wouldn't really want you to. We just need you to destroy this stuff and then move to Aldous and then relieve him of his current situation. Also, skeletal walls, let's build these up immediately, because Tower of Crack is going to be quite difficult to defend, isn't it? This would allow Roderick to move somewhere else, though. Like to the lair of the Troll King while Vlad takes care of the rest of this. Yeah, you know what, I like that. Let's have you kill this. Auto-resolve it, obviously. And those poor Morngulls. Heal up just very slightly. Hopefully we can auto-resolve this without further losses. Renki go here. Damn, Renki. He's at level 13 now. Oh, our really? Or our Morngulls, rather? Okay, let's just... Ugh. Absolute trash. I can't believe we have to fight this. The loading was really long, so I decided to cut it out. Alrighty, and Blood Knights, take care of this, please. I guess you can come in and help if you want. There you go. Crypt Horrors, go help out with that. Oh, can Blood Knights even catch these units? I'm not sure. Might even take some damage. You know what, let's send the other units out. Oh, they did catch them. Oh, they're gonna lose a unit like that. Come on now. Go heal those Blood Knights. Shouldn't be time for casualties, and there we go. Don't chase them, don't chase them. And just heal up, shall we? I'd really rather you guys be at full HP over the next turn, although I suppose if we're in our own territory, it won't matter that much. But nonetheless. Alright, you are now back to full HP, and then 2 seconds freaking auto-resolve, man. Why? Why do you hate the Morngulls? Alrighty, and it looks like these guys aren't healing anymore. Alright, perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but at least 0 losses. Egrim the big one. Ugh. Making us fight this. I really don't like how the auto-resolve assumes that you're going to send your very badly damaged unit into a battle against a force with basically nothing left in it. Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? Okay, the AI might do that, but then... just answered my own question. Okay, and oh, wow, we did get the Armor of Destiny. Very nice. Okay, thank you, game. I am very much mollified. It's a very nice pickup. Appreciate it. Well, let's dominate those captives. Let's enjoy Egrim's big one. Alrighty. Renki, and now you... oh, damn, you barely have any movement points left. I wanted to transfer stuff both to Vlad and to Aldous and to Rod. So maybe, if we don't move... You can't reach us here in one turn, can you? Now, if you go, let's say here... Oh, attrition territory too? If you go right here, it won't be attrition. Alright, fine. Go here. We'll have to figure out what to do with Aldous here. Because if this guy sieges, it'll be annoying. I really wanted to get Aldous out, but if we summon some garbage units, auto-resolve this, with just like skeletons and stuff, then we could do it. Okay, so what we want to do here is, first of all, you go into channeling stance. Why? Because you won't be able to move after this anyway. Then, you are going to take the Mournguls, the Crypt Horrors, and get rid of these, and... You do need a Terrorgeist. This completes your monstrous infantry complement. These two need to go to Vlad. And I was gonna send the Vargeists to Vlad as well, but you know what? He can just get his own Vargeists. Because you two... I'm gonna move in here. I mean, I guess we could just let a Ghoul go and... Oh, damn it, fine. Well, then again, you know what? No, screw it. Vlad can get his own Vargeist. We may not even need these. Because, well, Vlad has his bats. I was going to replace the bats with more Vargeists, because the bats are kind of a liability at this stage. Even if they do get buffs from Isabel. You know what? No, fine. More Vargeists. Screw it. 2020. And yeah, now you can't move, but at least you're in channeling stance, so you're getting something. And then you can join up with Vlad, give him his stuff, and then... Oh, wait. And I just realized, if these two are being replaced by... Blood Knights, and you technically don't need those Vargeists, which was a waste of a Ghoul. I guess we could just raise another Ghoul if we delete these Vargeists. Ghouls are relatively easy to raise, so yeah, that doesn't matter. Alrighty. And then Renki, you're gonna transfer some stuff over... Oh, in fact, you should probably raise a few things. You know what? We'll deal with that next time. There's a lot of admin right now, I think, that we can take care of at the start of next episode, and part of it I'll take care of between the episodes as well. I want to go through items and see what we get, if there's anything decent in there.
It is night.
And then next time, I think within one turn, we'll be able to destroy Karazakarak, and then move back down to hopefully destroy Karak Azul, and on top of that, possibly even destroy Sartosa as well, especially now that Argolon has moved away. And the Sartosa position is actually kind of dangerous because, well, Skaven could always sail out and attack Lucini or Sartosa or something like that, but I think we'll leave it in Rudy's capable hands. So hopefully lots of faction destruction next time. Stay tuned for it. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for a friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.